So, Bandai has been releasing a few key Star Wars characters as exclusives on their website lately. Unfortunately, when I realized they were releasing Anakin and Padme, it was already too late. The orders were closed. There was no way I'd ever be able to get one of these figures without paying Shin Godzilla prices. After the Padme figure came out, I saw a very mixed response to the figure, which made me feel better about missing out on it. But the more I thought about it, the more I wanted her, as they would probably never make another Padme figure, and Natalie Portman was probably the first crush I ever had growing up. So this figure would be nostalgic for me. So I did the unthinkable. I ordered the figure secondhand from China. China? Any figure collector will know that this was a very risky move, as China may as well be renamed Bootleg Figure Central. After a bit of waiting, I have the figure right here in front of me. So let's open her up and hope she isn't a bootleg. Right away I can say my fears of this figure not looking like Natalie Portman can be put to rest. In videos and pictures I've seen, something looked off about the likeness, but in person it's actually really great. The face looks a little bit too pudgy, but other than that it's spot on. Natalie Portman is a very attractive woman, and this is the first time Bandai has tried to make a female face sculpt for their Star Wars figures, so this could have very easily looked terrible. The other thing that looked bad in pictures was her hair color. It looked too light, almost blonde in some angles. But again, in person, this looks way better. Padme is wearing her outfit from Geonosis after it gets ripped, probably so the figure doesn't look too boring. Everything here looks good and faithful to the movie, but I kinda wish she had the scars on her back and arm like in the movie, as it would make the figure stand out a bit more. On her lower torso, she has a few pouches, one of which you can move around. Her boots look much dirtier than the rest of the outfit, which is a nice touch. As her outfit is fairly simple, nothing really hinders her articulation here. Her head moves all the way around, and her neck supplies the up and down, left and right movements. Her arms can go up about this far, and look like they're on some sort of butterfly joint that doesn't do anything. Her upper body moves well enough, same with her waist. Her legs go up this far, and I noticed that her left leg feels a bit loose. Her default hands are these open-palmed hands. Next up are these slightly more open hands that seem kinda useless. Her final pair of hands are two gun-holding hands, one for each arm. Speaking of guns, she comes with this battle droid blaster, which is obviously accurate to the movie. The slightly more open hands, I assume, are to grab the gun. This is her only real accessory and the only thing that stops her from being kind of a boring figure. Last up is this alternate head. Usually I don't like when Bandai gives us alternate heads that barely change the facial expression, but this one actually has a better likeness in my opinion, making it the preferred head. Overall, Padme is a good figure. Not great, not bad. Good. She could use some more accessories, like maybe an alternate torso to display her in her non-battle damaged form, and a cape and blaster to go along with it. But other than that, she looks like Natalie Portman, has good articulation and detail, and can't really go wrong with that. So if you like Star Wars, Natalie Portman, or just SH Figuarts in general, I would recommend picking her up. But only if you could find her at a decent price like I did. Since her and Anakin were exclusives that have since sold out, they're only going to get harder to find and more expensive, so I would jump at the first good deal you find.